Um, I'm seeing people making a fuss over the difficulty, but it is important to remember that Lubu is supposed to be that difficult. He is the hero of the world. Hero. He's a war hero in every iteration of Dynasty Warriors, and especially within the Three Kingdoms, a Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Lubu has always been the pinnacle. He is the embodiment of the one true warrior. Um, but let's see. Let's so far. Let's see what's happening so far. I would argue that he's actually easier than some Dynasty Warrior games because we actually have tools to use against him, parries and dodge, instead of just getting into the red health and spamming Muso. I didn't get a chance to use Muso against him. That was now that you bring it up, because the new mechanics from dodging to parrying is really fun, and being able to control an army. So what I could have done is I didn't realize that when I run out of allies, I run to a base. I get some fodder. I come back. I launch. That's the idea. That's the idea. Like having the more bases you own, the more troops you can recruit to your cause and to your combat. Um, that makes sense. Also, you typically start out pretty weak in these games and get much stronger as you progress. So the difficulty in the demo shouldn't be a deal breaker for anybody. Um, hey, Pina. What's up? How you doing?
I gotta go down the toilet now.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
And so it's just really that it's crazy that 9 in this game shares the same namesake. Dynasty Warrior 9 has the same namesake. Interesting. Um, but yeah, it was really difficult. But they are correct. You have the resources available to you to beat Lubu in the demo, and as you get stronger, you'll have better resources to be a crazy warrior of Dynasty. Okay. This is what do you mean absolutely the Sekiro of Dynasty Warriors? What do you mean? They ramp up the difficulty. In the full game, I have no doubt it will be possible to farm stronger weapons. We got parries, we got cancels, we got encounters, we got Miller, the most sturdy officers who refuse to be cheesed. We got our own retainer dudes. We got duels. I didn't know duels left the Dynasty Warrior franchise for a bit. I mean, the new Lubu VA is still pretty good too. Um, press the button when prompted type gameplay. You clearly, I don't know who you are as Sienna. You clearly never played a Dynasty Warrior game, much like a hack and slash. For there are more than 4 weapon types. I don't know what you were talking about. Or I might be Delulu as well. Dynasty Warrior 7 through 8 was their peak, and everything after that just lazy cash grab. It's not lazy. Games constantly try to evolve, and this is a definitely new pursuit. I, what do you mean Dark Souls? I don't play Dark Souls, so that last boss kicked my butt, but holy moly, was the gameplay satisfying to play? It was satisfying. It gave you the resources that are available to beat him. When I played on normal, I should have kept going to the boss, kept going to my bases, and launched ally after ally against Lubu because he will kill 1,000 soldiers before he gets to you. Say we so back doesn't even begin to describe it. Okay, what's your problem? Dynasty Warrior has been my favorite video game franchise for decades. Sucks for me, but they're obviously aiming for a Western mainstream audience. I mean, I don't know why. Like, if you explained why it doesn't feel like Dynasty Warriors, what doesn't make it feel like a Dynasty Warrior game? You are fighting against a trove and a plethora of enemies. And you tell me that you're not playing the right game? I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, if you feel like you're playing the wrong game, then I can't tell you that. Like, I can't save you from your own situation. Like, if you feel like that, then that's okay. And when I'm saying it's negative, technically I can't recommend the demo. The UI looks like it doesn't upscale at all. I was trying to play it at 4K, but like if this game is meant to be played at the lowest denominator, my potato could not play Monster Hunter Wilds, but it was more than enough to play the minimum for the demo. Got the settings right. Also, I have never played a Dynasty Warrior game before, so that's the problem. So it just threw like 200 text tutorials at me and threw me in the middle of a battle, and I had no idea what I was doing, and was trying to get used to the controls while fighting. See, that is a good point, because when I was changing my companion, I didn't realize that I moved my position on the map. So definitely, for sure, I wasn't aware that my triangle icon was on the right side of the map. I was looking for the left side of the map for the longest time when I was doing it. So that's not great. But I'm sure it once you are able to orientate yourself in the game, much better. But again, the mountain of texts, they do highlight the important parts for you to pay attention to when it comes to playing the game, and how to get Muso, how to build meter, how to do the X, Y, and Z when it comes to being a Dynasty Warrior. If this is, no, you're saying you can't, this guy's saying you can't base on the demo, that makes sense. Again, if I get time to play Dynasty Warriors Origins fully, I would definitely put time into it. But also, this feels like a game that I don't know how boring it will get for people if they watch someone play through an entire campaign. Hard to say. Keyboard language not set to every time I start playing the game. I have to change it back after play. I was sure I wasn't hitting any shortcuts, and my window key keeps disabling anyways. See, what you should have done. This game, I have never played keyboard for Dynasty Wars, but I do know that oftentimes the dodge button will either be control, which is sometimes uncomfortable for people, or shift. And if you press shift long enough, if you press shift 5 times, 6 times, it pops up a window. That function doesn't acknowledge that you're actually pressing that button within the confines of a game, so it messes you up for sure. So again, I'm I'm positive the game's great. This feels really fun. This game, very fun, very good, very fun. But the fact that judging it based on the demo is poor form. Is there any other there's 200 negative ones. Okay. CPU is about 120 frame rates. PlayStation old style vibes. What is the problem with? You see, what you have to do, you have to fix the frame rates of your PC as it is. I think it's a settings problem. You have a settings problem. You're not valid. Your opinion is not valid. Since it's just demo, I'm not going to base my entire opinion about the main game around it. No different characters or customizable protagonists. Occupied. No different characters or customizable protagonists coupled with no new with free mode where you can play any of the characters. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Just make another game called Souls Wars. What do you mean? What is this? Just make another game called Souls Warriors, or should be called a Soul Warrior, and leave Dynasty Warriors alone to die in peace. This game is not for you if you think Lubu will be held back by your petty comments. You got two clowns. You got two gestures out of like two gestures. You are clearly not the demographic if you feel like an innovation of combat is an issue for you. I am sorry that you're having a hard time grasping the power and the might of the embodiment of testosterone Lubu, who hailed from the heavens, came down to earth, and graced us with his powerful presence. Only okay. This is recent. This should be recent. That was a terrible sales pitch for the game. What do you mean? Was Wtphu a Dynasty Warriors game? Okay, so it is a Warriors game, huh? Constant talking and alerts, and again, that makes sense because like for its 10th game, it's trying to. I mean, it makes sense to where constant talking and alerts. You can turn off the talking or you can lower the volume, pending. Because like the constant talking is supposed to mimic the battlefield in real life. Like if you're there, that's what it is. What do you mean? Like the game doesn't need them. Okay, hold on. I really do enjoy the voiceless action rock music, but only at a low level in the background. The game is awkward and empty without it. I mean, yeah, it does. Like when you fight, but it makes sense though because when you say it's empty and like awkward, that makes sense because there's a reason for it. Lubu has ascended from the heavens, and everybody else's first instinct is to run. Your generals are not going to survive. Your peasants are not going to survive. And if you think that if you fight Lubu unprepared and not utilize all the encampments that you conquered against him, you are dead wrong. You need to use everything available, provided from your own sweat and tears, fight against them. Because everyone's running and they're giving space, a lot of space away from Lubu. A lot of new mechanics seems useless. I will say that I did struggle for in the first hour just to realizing that I ran out of friends. I guess I can't use friends anymore. But that can be a level of challenge that you can do in the full game. You can definitely just go alone. You can definitely just raw dog it by yourself. You launch by yourself. You lead no team. You can definitely let them die by accident and not refill your squad with bases that you've conquered. You can definitely do that. I expect diehard Dynasty fans will eat it up, but as someone coming from the older games, this overcomplicated is. See, if you say it's overcomplicated and dreadful, then you were not fit for war. Zhao gave you the tools required for this new day and age of war, and he's telling you to bucker up, Buttercup, and fight Lubu with your sweat and tears until he falls, and if he does not fall, you will pick yourself back up and you fight again. But overall, it's overwhelmingly positive overall. Like, it's very good. Very happy that overall it's positive. Very good. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. And if you liked it, make sure you subscribe and follow for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.